guys, alright. I have no idea. Testing out GoPro out in the field today. Sunny day here in Montreal. It's just the start of spring, and as you probably just saw in all the footage of at least this park that I've come to here, this is Wilfrid Laurier Park. It's pretty dry. I was here in November last year and it was so much green, like the trees and the grass. It's incredible to see what the change of seasons is like here. Can't wait to see I guess the transition now is spring properly blooms here. But yeah, right now I'm here to do a vlog with you guys. This will be, I guess, technically my second proper vlog. I'm testing out the GoPro with my external microphone, and I've got a little, I don't know what they call it, like a muffler, a muff that's dampening the audio, but I have no idea what my sound is going to be like. It's really bright too, so I'm sure I've got great natural light, but it's quite bright in my eyes. But I'm hoping that the microphone's picking up my sound well enough, and the wind is being dampened almost all the way to zero, so that my voice is coming through clear. That's the point of having one of these little wind. It's really windy though. I have no idea if it's going to work. Anyway, we're going to try this out and see how it goes. So actually, you know what? Let me just pause it there. Well, I tested it, and good job, microphone is all I can say. It sounds pretty clear, at least on the playback. But I'm going to stick these on and keep them on because it's definitely too bright for me. I'll start crying here. So let's dive into some proper vlogging for you guys. I've returned to Montreal. I left Vancouver just about a week ago. Well, sorry, about 2 weeks ago. I left Vancouver, packed up all my stuff, put it into a moving truck. I have like a 1-bedroom worth of furniture because a few years ago I moved to Toronto and I bought a condo, downtown apartment, and I bought a 1-bedroom worth of furniture. I kind of regret it now as I'm switching back to digital nomadism, because having 1-bedroom worth of furniture has led me to some weird choices, like, you know, do I, it sounds so stupid, but do I, you know, buy a new place just so I can put my furniture into it and then rent it out on AirBNB? Or do I, you know, rent another 12 months at a lease somewhere like Vancouver and just keep that my base? But I pretty much decided I want to travel again and do some digital nomad moving around. And that meant I had to either, well, I'm still deciding this. My current plan is to purchase a place in Montreal that I will call my base, move my furniture into it, and Airbnb it, or short-term rental, maybe 6 months lease, because I'll probably be away from Canada at least 6 months. And then, you know, come back here when I want to sort of have a base and have a routine. But I'm going to travel, and I'm a little open-ended with it. I don't have a strict plan. I'm going to kind of go with my feelings. With, you know, I know after a lot of moving around, you kind of want to stay in one place. But then after staying in one place for a while, you want to move around again. So I haven't moved around for a while consistently. I have been to Europe now in a couple of years. So I'm going back to Ukraine for my birthday to check out my solar power plant that's all set up there now. Whoa. It's windy, guys. Really windy. Let's just fix up the base here. Okay. There we go. Let's hope we don't have that problem again. Yeah, so wow. Yeah, okay, no, seems to be good. Yeah, so I'm going to be in Ukraine, and I want to explore a bit more of Europe at the same time. So open-ended traveling. Just to recap kind of my last couple of weeks, packed up my stuff, went to Toronto for a 1-week visit to see my family. My cousin Rebecca was getting married, so I went to her wedding. You might have caught some of those photos and stories on my Instagram. If you didn't, you should follow me on Instagram. Yaro is my Instagram username. And then after a week in Toronto, I caught the train, as I always do, here to Montreal, where I am here for kind of like 2 reasons. One, I've got my existing investment property. I need to do some repairs, sign some new leases with my current tenants. I'm just gonna hold this. I also have some plans to buy a second investment property / where I call out my base, move my furniture in, as I was talking about before. So that's what I'm doing right now. I've got an open house to look at today here in the Laurier kind of area, Montreal kind of area of Montreal, the plateau. Not that I don't talk too much about my personal life always. I know I do write about it. One of the things I like and don't like about traveling so much is I'm single and dating. So I'm meeting someone after this video is done. Just gonna meet someone I met on usual apps, swiping away. But it's funny because you travel a lot, and it's kind of a blessing and a curse, because you do travel a lot. You often aren't in one place long enough to begin a relationship with someone. But on the flip side, when you land somewhere new, it's kind of exciting because there's a whole new pool of people to meet. So, but depending what you want, it's mixed blessings, that's for sure. So I got an open house and pre-date, as I call it, meeting someone for the first time coming up today, and then probably head to the gym tonight. So I wanted to talk about some other stuff as well with you guys, as I do with these vlogs. So that's kind of like the travel update. Hopefully you saw a few of my footage of catching the metro as well to get here. I just want to I'm basically testing out my GoPro, so I do apologize if it seems a little boring sometimes. You're going to be my guinea pig here with my vlogs, just to see what I can do with a bit of b-roll, just testing out the microphone, testing out the settings on the camera, even just sitting here trying to figure out the right angle to talk to you guys is part of the experiment. How does it go in wind, all these things. Plus this GoPro has this amazing stabilizing feature built into it, which so far has been really cool to see. I can be, as you saw, moving around and it stays so smooth, so I'm impressed with that. But down to business, and I really mean that. So as you guys know, I run all my businesses remotely, so this moving around doesn't mean I stop working. In fact, it's part of what I love about the nomad lifestyle is being able to sit in a cafe and connect with your team on Slack, on email, grow your business, teach courses, work with clients, meet some friends, meet some people in your industry as you're traveling. So I did spend a bit of time with Jay and Francesca, who you've probably seen on my Instagram and Facebook if you've seen my recent photos. They're a couple of digital nomad style travelers as well, running their own online businesses. And here in Montreal, I don't really know that many people, so it's kind of good because I've had a couple of weeks where just not getting a lot done with the move. Obviously taking a bit of time to pack up my stuff, and then wedding and family in Toronto. So it's been 2 weeks of kind of sporadic work. So it's been nose down back here in week 1 in Montreal, besides looking for property, which has meant a few cool things. So I've been running a soft campaign for my services arbitrage course, which is a training program inside my membership site, the Laptop Lifestyle Academy, basically teaching people how to set up a business where you're selling services. It's probably one of my favorite courses I've created because it's so unique. There's not really anyone else I've ever come across who teaches how to set up a business specifically selling a service using a contract model. I guess you could say it's kind of like the agency model. There's certainly plenty of people supporting people who do agencies. And I guess to be fair, I really am teaching a format of an agency as well, but I feel because you're really focused more on arbitraging, you're hiring contractors, you're not looking to get full-time employees, you're not looking to build necessarily a massive company. It's your typical laptop lifestyle, digital nomad style business, which can be fantastic. My first ever full-time business or full-time income from a business came from a services arbitrage business selling essay editing services, where I had contract editors. And now my current growth project, Inbox Done, is selling email management services, and that company is growing like gangbusters, as I would say in Australia, and really enjoying watching that company grow. It's already surpassed a 6-figure business size, where we've done our first $100,000 in revenue, which is fantastic. And more importantly, our team, we're up to 8 people, and it's great to see them. I actually did a team call with Claire, my co-founder, who's kind of like the boss. She's the operations lady, and I saw all our team members on basically a Zoom connection with all of us beaming in from around the world, Hawaii, America, South America, me in Canada, Claire in Portland, and it's just cool. There's some new faces too, so it's just amazing to watch this little laptop lifestyle business grow. And you know, it's a lot of learning. I'm amazed. I mean, not really amazed, I'm not really surprised either. It's just what you go through with a new business. But you know, we're learning about client selection. We've had a couple of clients that just were not a good fit, so you know, we're really getting even more focused on the right people to work with, because when we do get the right people to work with, which is by far the majority, and probably, you know, 95% of our clients so far, they love us and we love them. So it's just such a great relationship. You know, we're freeing people from email, so it's such a big impact on their lives. 'Cause I know I went through it myself. That first time I outsourced my email to an email manager was the day I finally could say I was actually living the laptop lifestyle 100%. I was completely independent of my business, almost, you know, 99% independent from my company, because the day-to-day operations were handled by my email person. And that's what we're helping these other entrepreneurs with as well, getting them free from that inbox, whether it's customer service or just the day-to-day operational email. So we're making a big impact on their lives and their business. So, you know, it's a great company, a lot of fun to work on. Problems, always problems, you know, hiring the right people, training them, building systems, unexpected costs. Like, for example, not this is unexpected, but right now we're doing our, I guess, our growing up steps. I call them growing up steps because we, you know, now that we're well and truly a real company, and we have been a real company in terms of, you know, registered as a limited company here in Canada, but we're doing things like getting proper legal documentation, looking into insurance. We're getting our first accounting return done, so we're working with the accountants to, you know, report our taxes. So that's been, you know, growing up steps, and very, very part of the process. So, you know, I went through with my coaching business, my blogging business. I went through with my asset editing business. So it's just what you do, and that's fun. And it's been great to see, and I'm looking forward to, you know, seeing that company continue to grow. Meanwhile, I'm still coaching and teaching, not nearly as much as I used to, but that soft launch of Services Arbitrage, you know, bringing in a few more members. Hopefully, over time, a few people will launch their own services business. The Laptop Lifestyle Academy is a great business for me in terms of like a place where I can always direct people if they want to learn, you know, what I've learned how to do in the last 20 years of online business. So the Academy is something I will continue to support and add to. I actually created a new case study, like a half-hour video to go with that Service Arbitrage course, and I'm actually working behind the scenes on another brand new course for the Academy. I decided to do my Cash Cow Crash course, CCCC. You might know about that if you read the blog post where I talked about the $1 million milestone and the Cash Cow, which is just talking about setting up an information product that continues to sell as close to on autopilot as possible for years, you know, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, a decade. My own flagship course has been selling for over 10 years, and it's a cash cow. It's what has allowed me, here we go again, what has allowed me to do a lot of my, I guess, live with so much freedom has been seeing this product and some of my other digital products continually sell while I'm sitting here recording a video, while I'm on a plane, while I'm looking at a property to invest, while I'm on a date, while I'm you know, catching trains, sitting watching Netflix, planning my next trip, hanging with family at a wedding. You know, you see every day recurring membership bills coming in. You see, you know, repayment plans for flagship course sales, and you know, that's a real result that unfortunately a lot of online entrepreneurs don't ever reach the point of enjoying. It's kind of I guess a little frustrating for me, because I see so many talented, successful people choose the bad business models. You know, they're freelancers, they're selling their time, and they never create assets that do two things: generate new sales, new traffic, new leads, new audience, and digital products that sell automatically. You know, it's the reason why people actually eventually get freedom. But if you don't do that, if you're always selling live workshops, if you're always doing a launch campaign that begins and ends, you can make good money, but then 12 months later, that money is in the, you know, it's probably been spent. And if you don't have anything that's kind of recurring or stable, a cash cow, then you're always kind of needing to put time into growing or, you know, doing something new. And that was something I was very adamant about avoiding from day one. So, you know, the very first time I planned to create an information product, I was like, I'm going to do this once, I'm going to do a great job, and I'm going to sell this product again and again and again, and I'm going to sell it using systems. I'm not going to just do a launch and then, you know, have to do it again and again. I might do that from time to time, but I want to make sure that there are repeatable processes that sell this product and it puts money in my bank account week in, week out when I'm not doing stuff. That was so important to me. You know, maybe it's my lazy / freedom gene. It has forced me to always consider that kind of business model. So, you know, I'll just say this, if any of that resonates with you, you should be in my membership site, the Laptop Lifestyle Academy. That's pretty much what everything I teach is all about, is getting to that phase. It doesn't matter whether you're selling services or selling digital products, e-commerce, you know, you've got to set up these systems to run a business and sell products when you're not there. That's my seminary, what I preach all day long when it comes to coaching, that's for sure. So that's been great. Other than that, you know, let me just grab out my mobile phone. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget everything I wanted to tell you guys. So let me just double check. Also, this is yeah, okay. A couple of other side things I wanted to talk about, which, you know, you might not know because I don't really talk about this, but if you've been checking out my website, you will have seen that we switched from Entrepreneur's Journey, the domain name, to Yaro.blog, the domain name. I'm writing a blog post to explain why I made that switch and how the switch occurred, you know, in terms of rolling out a new domain name when you've got this really old established domain name, the branding implications, the URL changing, so the SEO implications. So I've been in between on flights and, you know, a few cafe sessions, been putting together a recap blog post to explain some of that decision making to you. So I'll it's a really windy day. I will get that out probably in the next couple of weeks to you, so look out for that. One of the cool things I want to talk about that you might not know about me, but I do a bit of angel investing, mostly through syndicates, but also through a platform called EquityZen, which is kind of like it's a pre-IPO platform where employees within startup companies, usually quite established startup companies, you know, not brand new ones, unicorns, big companies, or $100 million companies, if they want to exit some of their early stock in that company, they can go to EquityZen and basically say, hey, I want to sell this. So I've done a couple of deals, and one of them is about to come to fruition for the first time. Now, I think it's going to turn out to be a negative, unfortunately, in terms of the initial capital gain, but it's been fun, and I think it will longer term turn out to be still profitable. And what am I talking about? Well, one of the investments I made last year was in Pinterest. So I've been a big fan of Pinterest since it first came about. I was like, you probably know Pinterest very well. You get in these pictures and you go in there and you do a search and you can find images about basically anything. And it's a huge shopping search engine. There's a lot of women who use that platform, and men too, but it certainly rose to fame off of that the sort of stay-at-home mom, or maybe not even stay-at-home mom, just the shopping mom or the shopping woman, the person who spends money in the household. Not to stereotype here genders, but I know the data from Pinterest shows that it's more women and they're often shopping. So that's just the stats from Pinterest about how Pinterest was being used. And I totally get it. I mean, I go on there and it's just full of amazing photographs of whatever it is you're into, you know, home decor, food, clothing. I'm into that stuff too, so it's certainly not just women, but that's how it rose to prominence anyway. And it's been a company I've wanted to, if the opportunity came up, to invest in, because I just like the fact that they've got such a buying audience, like compared to say Facebook or Twitter, some of the other social networks. Even though Pinterest it's kind of a social network, it's kind of a search engine, it's a discovery engine. It's, you know, it's not as much about socializing, but they class it still as a social media site. But I love the fact that it was so product driven and so commerce driven in terms of an investment anyway. You know, Facebook is not, you don't go to Facebook to buy stuff, but of course they put ads in front of your face now, so you can't help but get exposed to stuff. It's like TV before ads. You're just there for the entertainment, and then of course the ads come in and then more ads, and you've seen this. YouTube is full of ads and there's more and more. I think Facebook has a ridiculous amount of ads now. Instagram, just the other day I think I'm seeing twice as many Instagram ads in my feed as I was prior to that. So it's, you know, it's an obvious trend, but at least with Pinterest, people were there with shopping intent a lot of the time anyway. So to see some kind of advertising media, I thought would be, you know, not nearly as disruptive. You know, you're looking at home decor, to see some ads for, you know, bedding supplies or furniture or whatever would be very in line with the motivation behind why you're there. So that's something I thought that was, you know, very, very unique about Pinterest. So that was years ago, and hence I wanted to invest. And when it came up as an opportunity on equities end just last year, I knew that a float was coming up, so I thought this might not turn around, you know, an instant profit return, but it'd be fun to just be, you know, a pre-IPO investment in Pinterest. So I put down, I think about 20 grand US in an investment into pre-IPO Pinterest. Now, unfortunately, word on the street is their initial IPO in a very crazy IPO year. I don't know if you're following the IPO world at the moment, but you know, Lyft just went live, Uber is about to go live, Pinterest is about to go live. When I say live, these are all about to float on the American Stock Exchange. Their IPO is happening, and there's a ton more happening this year too. It's like there were none for a few years, and then suddenly there's 10 of them, all these big tech companies all floating, Pinterest being one of them. Now, Pinterest is currently floating a stock price proposal that's going to value them probably slightly less than the purchase price I made. It may even be as much as 10 to 15% less, I think, than maybe even 20% less than what I paid for my initial stock. Now, it could just skyrocket, it can double. There's been, you know, one of the IPOs this year doubled after floating, but Lyft went up 20%, then dropped 30%. So it's, you know, it's down as I'm recording this and talking to you. But it's all early days, so for me it's just fun to say I was a pre-IPO investor in Pinterest. I hope it has a great debut on the stock market and it does double, and then I'll have a nice little windfall. Even if it doesn't, I'll probably hold on to it. I don't need that investment back straight away. You know, it really depends. I'm kind of curious if we're heading into a fairly major adjustment, you know, a stock crash, an economy recession, as we've been talking about for years. If you follow like the Ray Dalio advice about where we are in economic cycles, we're definitely getting to the point where we should be expecting a downturn of some kind soon, and it could be significant. So I'm also being very reserved with my investing. I'm kind of keeping the bulk of my capital liquid for whatever kind of opportunities come up during the next recession crash, whether it's property or stock or even startup. Startups might be, you know, at a discount to invest in as an angel or pre-IPO as well. So that's just something I want to share with you guys. I love the variety of my life in terms of being angel investing, property investing, just good old-fashioned stock investing, not to mention running a coaching business, running a services business, and of course my solar company in Ukraine, which I'm going to be very excited to visit in just a few short months now. When I'm over in Ukraine, I'll get the drone out, I'll have the GoPro out, and I'll get some great footage hopefully for you to check out the solar panels. It's not that exciting, I guess. On some level it's kind of boring, you know, panels, sunlight, generate energy, make money, but it's still exciting for me because it's a physical product. But I'm also planning on maybe starting something new as well. I'm interested in something maybe not this year, but the start of next year, maybe starting another new company. I've been kind of brainstorming what could be something exciting to get into, but right now my growth focus is all about services arbitrage. So if you do know anyone who wants to get out of their inbox and have someone take over their email or handle their customer service, send them my way, inboxdone.com. Happy to you know, do a consulting call, a clarity call, to talk about that with anyone who might be interested. I think that's it, guys. It's 1:30, so it's almost time for me to get going. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I want to really share with you. I am going to say that this is the, I I guess the technical start of my travel vlogging. As I said at the start of this video, I want to experiment with the tools first, so it's going to be a bit rough. I don't know how the sound's going to be like. The audio is going to be, sorry, the video will be, you know, me learning how to use a GoPro, me learning how to edit. I'm not becoming a professional vlogger. It's not going to be my thing, but it's fun, and I do like editing my own footage. It's very egotistical, and I like having the memories as well of places I've been, so that's kind of fun to watch. I have to show you this quickly here, guys. Squirrel. Yep, that's now a famous squirrel in my video. So yeah, squirrels are entertaining. Distracted. Yeah, so I hope to have more footage, not just me sitting and talking to you. I do want to kind of mix in a lot more of the actual transitions, the movements, the bike rides, the exploring things, you know, getting out into nature. I think there's a squirrel behind me now too. Yeah. And this is kind of like my early days to just learn how to use the tools, and then hopefully we'll get better and better over time. And yeah, show you some travels. I've got nothing for another month or so. I'm just going to be here in Montreal, but then the real European adventures begin, possibly with Iceland. I'm thinking about Iceland as the first step on the way to the continent. So, all right, I'm going to call it a day. This video is almost at 25 minutes, so it's a great spot to end. And we'll see. Well, it may not be 25 minutes for you after I edit it, but that'll be a good experiment for me. Hope you're having a good time wherever you are, guys. I'll catch you on a vlog soon. This is Yaro. Bye-bye.